welcome to my channel, Classic Beats, Lounge of Loops. I love music, and as a kid, I used to wonder what it would sound like with some of the songs, how different they would be if I could put a different beat in, or if I could take out an instrument, or take an instrument and just do something with it, or a drum beat. So what I'm able to do with this channel, with the help of a number of iOS apps, I'm able to do just that. I'm able to listen to a song, grab a sample of that song, and make a new tune. Today what I'm going to do is sample a song that I really like. It's called Green Onions, and it was made by Booker T and the MGs. So what I'm going to do, like I've done in the past, is I'm going to let you hear the sample of the song that I'm choosing. Once I've finished manipulating the sample and making it into my own little tune, I'm going to give you a little information about the artist and the song. I've been thinking about doing this channel for a while with just that in mind. I love music, and I've been trying to find a way to share my love of music. This channel is giving me the opportunity to do just that. And what it's also allowing me to do is to do a little bit of research on the artist and the song. Something that I hadn't really given much thought to, but once I decided to do the channel, I felt like if I was going to take the time to sample a song and do something different with it, that I should at least know a little bit more about the artist and know a little bit about the song and maybe why it was written, when it was written, and how well it did on the charts. So what I'm going to do is share with you the sample that I've taken from the song. Well, first of all, I'm going to let you hear a little bit of the song, then take the sample, splice it up, and then make it my own. Here you go. I hope you enjoy it. what I'm going to do now is to give you some information about the artist and the song. Booker T and the MGs are an instrumental R&B funk band that was influential in shaping the sound of Southern soul and Memphis soul. The original members of the group were Booker T. Jones, he played the organ and the piano. Steve Cropper, he played the guitar. Louis Steinberg, he played the bass. And Al Jackson Jr., he played the drums. In the 1960s, as members of the house band of Stax Records, they played on hundreds of recordings by artists including Wilson Pickett, Otis Redding, Bill Withers, Sam and Dave, Carla Thomas, Rufus Thomas, Johnny Taylor, and Albert King. They also released instrumental records under their own name, including the 1962 hit single Green Onions, the song that I just sampled. As originators of the unique Stax sound, the group was one of the most prolific, respected, and imitated of its era. By the mid-1960s, bands on both sides of the Atlantic were trying to sound like Booker T and the MGs. Just to give a bit more history about the band, in 1965, Steinberg, who was the bass player, was replaced by Donald Duck Dunn, who played with the group until his death in 2012. Al Jackson Jr., which was the drummer, was murdered in 1975. The band was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1992, the Musicians Hall of Fame and Museum in Nashville, Tennessee in 2008, the Memphis Music Hall of Fame in 2012, and the Blues Hall of Fame in 2019. Having three white members, Cropper, Steinberg, and Dunn, Booker T and the MGs was one of the first racially integrated rock groups at a time when soul music and the Memphis music scene in particular were generally considered the preserve of black culture. Once again, the song Green Onions was released in 1962 and it's been described as one of the most popular instrumental songs ever. Booker T. Jones wrote the song when he was 17, but it seems that the song came to life once they got into the studio. The track was originally issued in May 1962 on the Vogue label, a subsidiary of Stax Records, as the B-side of Behave Yourself. It was quickly realized that the song was a success and it was reissued in August 1962 as the A-side. It also appeared on the album Green Onions the same year. The organ sound of the song became a feature of the Memphis sound. Green Onions entered the Billboard Hot 100 the week ending August 11th, 1962 and peaked at number 3 the week ending September 29th, 1962. The single also made it to number 1 on the R&B singles chart for 4 non-consecutive weeks, an unusual occurrence in that it fell in and out of the top spot 3 times. It first appeared on the UK singles chart on December 15th, 1979, following its use in the film Quadrophenia, I believe that's how that's pronounced. It peaked at number 7 on January 26, 1980, and stayed on the chart for 12 weeks. There have been some discussion about the name of the band. Of course, Booker T. Jones is the organ player and the leader of the band, so that's where the Booker T comes from. But there is some discussion about the MGs. Some said that the MG stood for the sports car from England, and others say it was given the MGs because it was considered the Memphis group. And then there's a little rumor out there that says that the MG stands for musical geniuses. So, not really sure which one is the correct reason, although there have been some conversation that by Booker T. Jones himself who said that it relates to the English MG, the sports car. So that's more information about the song and more information about the band. They're still performing after all these years. I haven't seen them perform myself, but I imagine they're performing somewhere in the United States, most likely California. Once again, I thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. And remember, feel appreciation for what is and eagerness for what's yet to come. Have a great day.